Hello, everyone. This is Intentional Woman's page again. It's been a while. We are trying to give you the best, so we've been out there trying to ensure we get the best and we give you the best. But all the same, we are here today on one of those interesting topics we have in our archive. And with me here today is my husband, our our usual visitor, but we are not taking him for granted. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So today we'll be talking about secrets in marriage. Actually, this section will be so nice for both singles and married. So I would really appreciate if everyone can just take time to listen to it. Then don't forget to comment. We need your comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Thank you. Okay, so today I want to talk about secrets in marriage.
Mhm.
I think you're looking too serious. Okay, so it is believed, or some men have this impression of you don't have to tell your wife everything. Like, okay, let me start by asking: is it everything you tell me?
Yeah.
Like it just yes, no, like you tell me everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Because now I'm there to confirm. Because I assume it tells me everything. So I'm there to be sure again before we continue in this section. You get it. Okay. So some men believes that it's not everything you should tell your wife. And that there are some things that you just keep to yourself. And you don't need to even get her involved in everything you are doing because I don't know. Maybe I don't know if they have some beliefs or something, and that's one. Two, what does a man expect from a woman for her to attain? Permit me to use the word attain the level of the man confiding in her or talking to her or not talking out, keeping sensitive informations with her, so to say. I don't know if you get what I'm saying now. Okay, so what are the requirements? Because some men believe that if I tell my wife she can't handle it, so can we know the requirements? And is it proper for a man to keep secret from his wife?
Okay. Well, my single opinion about this is a marriage is a simple as an institution that is with one, and that means we are dealing with the head and the body, not two bodies. We are dealing with the head and the body. So when we are dealing with the head and the body, if there are some parts of the body that the head does not deal with, or there are some parts of the head that the boy does not relate with, then it will be right to keep secrets in marriage. Because we are talking about two that have been that have cleaved together to become one. And that one is not just two bodies together, but one body with one head and one body, one or the other part of the body. So as far as the body is concerned, if a part of the body, for example, maybe the ear is having issues and doesn't want the head to know, or the head is having issue and doesn't want the ear to know, the first crisis that will happen is that there will be a time when the head will be going on its own and the body will be going on its own, and of course that is what death. You know about the nervous system. When a
Not
part of the
everybody
body
know even.
does not feel sensation anymore because the head is not properly connecting with it, that same part can be placed on a bottle and then there will be bleeding. But because there is no pain, this nervous system is not involved, there's no pain. So automatically, the person can bleed to death. So what it implies is that secrets can cut the marriage of secrets. When there's a part of the body that is trying to avoid the head or the head, because this issue of secrets is not only about man to woman, it's also about women to men.
Sorry, let me come in from here before you continue. You know, there are some marriages that they've spent up to 10 years, 20 years, 30 years,
Yeah.
and there are some informations that the husband don't relate with the wife, and they're still fine, abi?
Yeah. Now it's actually now coming from the terms of to what direction of finance are we talking about?
The
What-
direction of fineness.
Or talk about
Okay.
healthy marriage. Healthy marriage. Is it just focused on the physical outlook? Like I have a good house, we have a good
Children.
account, we have children, and the children are fine, or generational impact. That is, our marriage is causing blessing to generation. People can look up to our marriage and then they can trust God by whatever they are saying to be a blessing to other people. There's a connection, there's a conjugation of relationship that is causing a light to people. So that is the definition we should look at here. Is it the financial or wealthy capacity or the impact capacity that we can call good marriage? And some people say, well, I can be great without my wife. Now, that is on one side. Now, the second side is, what is the extent of greatness? And number two, what is the spiritual relevance of that greatness? Now, let's look around. There are many people that are actually not Christians, and they have a good marriage. They are doing impactfully. But the bottom line is that
What do you mean by they are doing impactfully?
they are causing changes in their world.
Okay.
But it is not having any spiritual relevance or any eternal relevance. That is another aspect. So this is multifaceted. If you want a marriage that, number one, is impactful generationally, and number two, there is also spiritual impact in that your generational impact, plus physical wealth, good outlook, everybody communicating to you and they are saying that house is a blessing, then you should consider relating together as one.
So is it possible for a man to really sincerely love his wife but still keep secrets from his wife?
That is based on understanding of that man. It is the exposure of an individual or the exposition of an individual that determines his actions.
Okay.
And so the limitation of a man in knowledge can also allow him to do something. But obviously, there is always a instinct in a man naturally to communicate with the woman, just like the head will naturally want to communicate with the body. So
Okay,
the man
there's
can
always
block it.
An instinct.
Yes, he can block it. And
Okay.
I will tell you why some men
Thank
do
you.
keep secrets.
All right.
The first reason why some men do keep secret, which is the most common, is when the secret is stamped to be wrong or to be unright or to be evil. Many times, a man does something that is not so good in a place, or it can also lead to a woman too. It's not so good, and if I tell this woman, or if I tell this man, he will not be able to handle the pressure of this stuff, and then we're going to fight. And if we fight,
And I don't want to
I don't
fight.
want us to fight. I don't know whether you
Some people
forgive
will
me.
say, I don't want my wife to be unhappy.
I don't want my husband to be unhappy. Now, if he doesn't forgive me, how will I cope with this marriage? And if you take any other action, what will I do? So that limits the conversation of the two parties from communicating with each other. Now, the other reason again is when probably they believe is a too spiritual reason. It's a vision that is too spiritual that the woman cannot understand. That's what we can't understand. Understand? Then the third reason is to put surprises.
Okay.
I want to surprise her, I want to shock her and all that.
Okay.
Now, why I don't see any much reason with the thought, because basically you are still going to communicate the issue the
Right.
man or
Maybe
the
you're
woman.
surprising her.
Yes, on the long run. The first and second reason are actually baselines to talk about. Now let's talk about what is the implication of hiding a bad thing that you do from your spouse in the name of she's not going to forgive me, or she's going to cause a problem. She can't handle the pressure of the pain. Now the bottom line of that is that the fact that she does not know gives you an impetus to want to continue to do the evil, because you believe that since she will not be aware, or she's not aware, there's nothing. I can still get it done and still hide from her.
I'm not ready to make her aware.
And I'm not ready to make her aware. And as you continue doing that, you keep damaging a major part of commitments that you made on your wedding day to your wife. And that naturally allows a demonic affliction. The devil comes into your marriage and does what he likes, because you have opened a door from an evil perspective to your marriage by your own hand. And until you are able to open up on that matter, the door remains open to the devil. While, of course, your prayers will be hindered, because you are not listening to yourself.
So are you saying it's possible that you keep fine? Well, based on normal, you can't keep secret from someone and you both pray together, or is it possible?
It's possible to pray together, but the bottom line is that the prayers will not be answered because there's no trustworthiness in that communion. It is adversary. The communion is a deception. It's an hypocrisy.
So it's possible that secret keeping from ourselves can also be
hinder
an
prayer. Yes,
so,
answer to prayer. Can hinder answer to prayer. It's just like unforgiven, just like unconfessed sin. When you do something like, if we all understand Christ as our mediator, and then you want to communicate with him, you have been in child of God, but you did something that was bad, and you don't want to tell Christ about it, because you feel if he knows, he'll be angry. But the truth is that when you keep going to Christ, your heart will be condemning you, and whatever you tell Christ, he will not answer, because he'll be looking at you as a condemned person until you're able to relate, God, this is what I've done, I apologize, I'm sorry, and all that. Now, when it comes to the issue of maturity for the other party, which is normal, that is where,
which is mostly from
the wife. That's where a spiritual cover comes in, like a spiritual father, a father figure. I feel my wife will not handle this, and I don't want her to get heartbroken to the point of losing the marriage. Then you seek counsel from the spiritual father.
What about those that there are some men that they don't do spiritual father mentorship thing? We have some men like that.
Of course, in that situation, you will need the spirit of God, the Father of spirits. Of course, that comes from prayer sections. Lord, I want to do this thing. Can you lay your hand on my woman to allow her to communicate with this matter and see it from a perspective of truth from me and not evil. Now, for instance, myself and my wife have had times when I did things that I didn't want her to know. Sometimes she gets to know, and when she gets to know, she feels I'm not worthy, I'm not trustworthy. Now, all of those times when she gets to know those things, I feel a lot of guilt. Now, that means that in the first place, what I was trying, although they are not like immoral stuffs and they're not like maybe going to sin, they are just like things that probably I just get to do without getting her consent, her full consent involved. And then when she gets to realize that I feel guilty, sincerely, really guilty, and we have to begin to apologize. That means that by normal instinct, on the first basis, what I did was wrong by not getting her informed. So that gives me a burden to want to carry along in everything I am doing.
Okay.
So that communication and that conviction is already a reason. Now, on the second issue of spiritual matter, it is the fault of a man if you are telling yourself your woman is not mature, because in the first place you were actually brought together to raise her. So you want to have a big head and a small body. That's already a problem. You want to keep growing while you keep making her to be lean, and that's the reason why she can't carry you anymore. She can't support you anymore. When you are relating on matters, she ignores you. So it is your to carry her along, raise her, groom her, study with her, pray with her, teach her, discuss on matters on the same plane. relate at the same plane. Try to give her a room to share the way she understands matters. Then top her up so that she can grow in her understanding to be able to relate with you. Well, because when you want to take some spiritual steps and she does not support you, you will suffer. In the sense that you are going to go through a lot of crises that are not necessary. Where she's supposed to hold the fort for you, take some steps for you, make up the gap for you, you will be struggling and eating. And if attack happens, devil can use a lack of spiritual understanding to inflict punishment on you by attacking her. Then you now have two casualties. One, you are struggling to make up for what you are going through. Two, your wife is struggling to live normal, and these things can cause early death, God forbid. So it calls for a joint responsibility of the man and the woman to build themselves in the most holy faith, pray in the Holy Ghost, grow together, pray together, so that when there are issues that comes up, it will be naturally and easy for you to relate with your wife. She's the most, in fact, on earth, our wife operates a ministry of the Holy Spirit to us. It looks strange, but the Bible called them helper. That's the help meet. That's like an helper, someone that is coming to assist, to raise you, to build you, to cushion you, and to make you better. So if you are now hiding secrets from your helper, of course we understand what that means. Where she needs to now come in, she'll be looking, because she doesn't know what you want to do. She doesn't know what step you want to take. And even when you are having weaknesses that is causing problem for you, and you are already seeing that weakness, maybe for instance now you find that you're having lust towards women. She is a woman. You can relate with her and say, honey, I'm finding it difficult to relate with women. What do I do?
That is one thing men don't do. Maybe because they feel the wife will like, hey, all what I am doing, all this one that I'm doing,
It's a function of maturity, because the woman thinks you come to terms with the fact that the man can open up to me and tell me these things. That means the man is mature. Because if the man is actually like someone that is
okay.
So when these issues are not clearly understood, the woman is already having a suspicion. Now let me say something about marriage. Women are highly sensitive. If something is wrong in your life, they have a way of knowing whether they really want to know or not. It could be a dream, it could be a revelation, it could just be a sensing. And you see, when they are not able to fine tune it and we are trying to cover everything, then they become suspicious. At that level, the relationship become unhealthy. And once the relationship become unhealthy, you'll be living as if you are struggling with each other. So why not just be free and relate with them? Even when they're having those sensings and all that, they will not even have to have it. They will not have to have it, because you are already open to them. And in such a way that even if you do something that probably is not correct, they are aware, and evil person will not use that one to come and destroy your home. If probably the person got to know that something bad has taken place, it will not become a tool to now fight your own by reporting to your wife or somebody else. And I also think that the devil actually is aware that secrets is key. I mean, secrets is actually a killer. And that's the reason why. So the devil is aware that secrets can kill a marriage. And so he whispers. I remember a particular day I had I think it's revelation or something. And it was quite complex. And I was saying, and I felt I should just keep this thing from you. Maybe I didn't know when I started talking to her actually. So by the time she now said, why is that you don't tell me? I said, I felt that probably I will tell you later. So no, whenever I have that feeling, it's the devil. It was a lesson. Sometimes the devil just started that there's no point telling your wife, just don't worry, she'll be fine. You can keep down, you can marry that one. And I know some people used to give this issue of Abraham took Isaac to the mountain without telling Sarah and all that. Of course, the Bible never required that he didn't tell Sarah or he told Sarah. So we cannot say he didn't tell Sarah. But the bottom line is this. That is a single aspect of scripture, and we cannot isolate it as a basis for keeping secrets. As a matter of fact, it was only a step of faith that only brought the family, I mean, the nations of Israel to become the key nation where a lot of people are being adopted into as children of God. So what I'm trying to say is that secrets is actually not meant to exist
And
between
actually,
a couple.
I also think, sorry, Hatu,
Yeah.
I also think that what we, the belief of a man, according to just what you said, too matters a lot. Now, what am I saying?
Belief system.
Yes, when during courtship, because it actually depends on what we are doing in courtship. During courtship, a courtship of 6 months is enough to build in your wife what the picture you really want, because it's not like maybe the woman does not really know anything outrightly like that, but maybe there's a woman you want in her. So that period is a time, if you really have this mindset of there's nothing we can keep from ourselves, and things that can make me keep things from ourselves might be issues where I feel maybe you might not be able to handle them, because I'm coming from the angle of for example, I just want to cite an example, like maybe a GO of a church that own a church and believes that there are some things in the church he can't tell his wife, or there are some decision if he takes, he does not really need to consult his wife, or for both he and his wife to agree on those decisions before he takes them. Now, I'm not disputing the fact that there are some things men can just decide that, because the way me I reason out things is that this person has been a man that has been only taking decision for himself before you came, and so far was so
That's
far
the issue of security.
so far so good. This man has been taking those decisions, and it has been working for him. And if it has not even been working for him at those points, maybe it was not working, he was ready to take what's it called, for his actions, you understand, responsibility for his actions. So now, coming into the picture as a woman, I used to feel like you needed to prove to a man why you are
connecting it. And that's the issue of I want to come in with the issue of protection. Men has ego, and it's natural. For a man to come low to relate his plan to you, it means that the man has a major, he has put you in a major place in his heart. Now, I want to say this quickly. When a woman does not now create that, does not allow the man to create that space successfully enough to allow the woman to know and respect, to allow the woman to actually, connect with him. That's what I'm trying to say, that the woman does not respect the fact that the man is creating a space for him. And everything that the man says, he go and say it outside. Everything the woman says, he tells the mother-in-law. Everything the mother says, yes. He doesn't really respect that space created. Then the man begins to look for another person to confide in.
Because he must actually talk.
Because he must talk. And so if it's not the secretary of his office, or probably the church or pastor or anybody, that already severes the soulish or the emotional connection that he has with the woman, and simply because the woman did not really respect the place that the man created. So I believe that the secret that the man has is for him to tell you something, and for you to respect what he told you, and then connect back to him at the measure you wanted, or probably even if you don't have that measure, you connect with the Spirit of God in you to raise that measure to the point that when you give it back to the man feels so blessed to relate with you. Secondly, when a man opens up on his dirty secrets, let me use that word, all these stuff he did, it is actually a large heart that can contain that. That is true. But the problem is that your reaction will now depend on if the man still have deeper secrets to say. That's number one. Or if he will be able to tell you further issues, not even secrets now, further plans that he has. Your reaction. If by the time the man tell you that, in my school days, I used to run after ladies, and in fact, I impregnated 5 ladies and I have 2 children. So, yay! The man said, and maybe you want to tell that you want to tell that you aborted and all that, and you have already screamed, you
just have
on
to
the
keep
floor.
quiet.
And by the time you see that you're running, no, nothing again, it's okay. I'm sorry for, and now you will assume that you have said everything, but meanwhile you are still other issues. So your reaction matters, and that comes to deal with your training, your composture, how you allow your heart to be renewed by the Spirit of God, and how you allow the Spirit of God to enlarge your heart to contain the issues. Because if a man does not see the woman worthy to connect with and he wants to be great, let me tell you something. He will leave the man where he is and connect with a stranger just to get there. The stranger will not take the glory later. The woman will take the glory, but the woman will not be part of the story. And the woman will just be a figurehead. Sometimes the woman will pretend that she's part of it. Because she will just at least when the man wear big clothes, it will wear big clothes. But the stranger outside there knows that this one is what? A figurehead.
And it will even be obvious that
you are not part of the picture. Yes. And that's if the man doesn't even drive you out later. At the end of the day. Of course, attack will have happened. So God forbid evil for us. One major thing that I want us to know that will make our life to be better as couples is that when we are relating with our spouse, our heart is pure, no condemnation, no guilt, no feeling of hey. I hope he doesn't know. I watched a little clip of a man that wanted to receive call. He was in the bathroom bathing, and then the woman just wanted to give him the phone. He just wanted to give it. He wasn't even going to pick the call. The man dived from the bathroom, fell down, wanted to collect the phone, fell down again. He wants to take it. No. What a phone call that he's not even trying to pick. And so to tell you that he has something probably that is hiding. There are different levels of men hiding things. Some people are even going occultic and they hide their women from it. Some people are actually going into politics and they hide their women from it. They are going to take a very nasty step of traveling as good as traveling out and they hide their women from it. Those kind of people will be limited in life on the long run. Sometimes it looks like they are moving fast, like everything is going, but the attack has been there is an open door of attack readily. Whereas when a man and a woman are fused in one, they are united in one, they take decisions together in one, and there's no condemnation in their hearts, the devil cannot attack them.
And the journey becomes
more easier. Because when the devil comes, because the Bible said, of course we are aware that there's what we call the Trinity. God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. There's a fusion or connection between that of union between God the Father, God and the Holy Spirit, and that which operates and spirals into what has turned to the world today. I'm talking about the creation of the whole world. Remember, at the creation that happened when Christ was going to be baptized. It happened when we want to even get baptized. The three names, the three names are being called. Just to tell you that how powerfully they have brought about a great communion and connection with the people of the world, and which becomes our own norm of relationship. So Christianity could not have been able to come on if there was sterility. And the same thing applies. If there are secrets in between the husband and the wife, they cannot raise a family. They can't raise good children and they can't raise a good future. They will not even have spiritual impact. They may have impact, but not something that is having spiritual and eternal durability.
I want to say something at this point. I feel there are times, though it may not be secret anyway, there are times that men take decision, because I remember even there are days you also take decision without getting me involved in those decisions. Like there are times men take decision and maybe at the long run they're not like, I did something like this, or maybe I did this with this person, not something bad now. Maybe they just want to do something. Maybe I gave this social person money today or something around that, and they just have to tell the wife after when they've done that. I also think that women needed to understand that there are times men take decisions. Now that's not secret. But we needed to understand, because we won't have to give ourselves a lot of tension or give ourselves a lot of attention when we do some of these things. They grow just as we are expected to grow. So when a man comes to you, when he's done doing a particular thing, at least try as much as possible to appreciate whatever he has done, then give him reasons why he should have actually told you, but at least first of all, let there be this sense of appreciation in whatever he has done. You know, it has a way of quenching unnecessary fire. That, yes, and tension. So it's not every time we expect that, okay, he must be coming every day to tell, because there are some,
be accountable to me.
You understand, it's not every time. Like, give him space, give him some space, because
You follow that, you always come back to
you
me.
always come,
And
it does not make you look less of yourself.
And the more he relates with you on those lines, the more he finds himself getting it difficult
Not to relate
not to do those things
without your
communicating.
consent or something. So let's try as much as possible to at least give them space. At times, give them space. Just allow them. With time, they themselves will realize that I can't just do this thing without this woman. But just give them space. The way we undo it goes a long way to determine
How do you do it in the future?
how they do it later. And I know the Lord will help us. Our home is blessed, and our home is going to be great, because marriage is spiritual. So whatever you acquire physically outside of the spiritual point of view is a waste of time. That's the truth. Marriage is spiritual. So if you must acquire anything, if you must put anything reasonable into it, focus more on the spiritual part of it. Every other thing too is an added advantage, but don't invest more on the other physical, getting money, getting houses, training up your children in the way of the Lord are all spiritual investments. So focus more on the spiritual aspect of it. Touch life as couples. Focus more on the spiritual aspect of it. See the spiritual part of it as also much more important than any other. And I pray the Lord will help us.
Amen.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
So thank you very much. Hope to see you soon on another wonderful topic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.